So Dr. Meg Hayworth says there's 10 ways that narcissistic parents impact children. Let's go through it. So the first is emotional manipulation. This is a tool to control children, leaving them feeling confused, invalidated, creating a cycle of second-guessing their self. Lack of empathy. This leads to a profound sense of neglect and emotional isolation. 3, gaslighting, which is a tactic that causes children to doubt themselves or doubt their reality, question their sanity, making decision-making and commitments very difficult. 4, conditional love, which leaves kids constantly striving for validation of people and a lifetime of insecurities. 5, emotional neglect, desires, well-being, needs are not prioritized. So emotional neglect means that the person's desires, well-beings, and needs are not prioritized. Emotional security is not provided, and when the person is not emotionally supported, it can lead to self-neglect. 6, role reversal. This is where the child is forced to be the caretaker, the emotional regulator. They're robbed of their own childhood and their own emotional growth. 7, identity suppression. This is when a narcissistic parents project, this happens often, their own desires on their kids, stifling individuality and autonomy, and makes it hard as an adult to determine the life purpose and may live a life they want for me, let's say, but without really knowing what I truly want. Or they might want the child to live the life for them, but not knowing what the child truly wants. Constant criticism. This is when parents are quick to criticize and belittle. This erodes the self-esteem and self-worth. Where a child grows up feeling filled with self-doubt, has great difficulty making decisions. 9, lack of boundaries. Boundaries are disregarded, personal space is invaded, and autonomy is violated, creating an adult who has low to no boundaries because they were never modeled, and even an adult so isolated that they have no friends and they greatly fear relationships. 10, intergenerational cycle. This is the idea that without intervention, the patterns of abuse will perpetuate throughout generations if someone doesn't realize that they're repeating the similar manipulations or does not seek to understand how narcissistic treatment in their upbringing was normalized. Next, we have Dr. Cynthia Phelps. She says, most of us who may have been raised, by parents, let's say caregivers, are going to live with them in our head. As we grow up, we continue to have the voices of the people who kept us safe and gave us care in a way. Well, she doesn't say this, but she's saying that. So now, how does that voice show up in your head? So she says, some people have anxiety and fear, harsh ruminating thoughts, debilitating perfectionism, unhelpful coping strategies, or even feel tortured by a cruel, critical inner voice. Maybe there are some characters. So there's a character of the worrier. This is a hypervigilant person who's scared of the future, ruminates on the past, playing small, difficulty calming their self, and anxious attachment, mysterious illnesses, secretly worried something's wrong with them, and a low self-esteem. Then you have the perfectionist. This is a person who has unrelenting standards. They overwork, there's toxic comparison, they feel like a fraud, never good enough, chronic illness, and procrastination. Then we have the overgiver. This is a person who puts others' needs before their own. It looks like burnout, compassion fatigue, resentment of others, a low self-respect, toxic independence, even codependence, and forgets to care for the self. There's difficulty asking for help. Then we have the escape artist, number 4. This is a person who needs to escape their inner sense of discomfort. Maybe difficulty naming emotions. They cope with substances and behaviors like, coping behaviors. Difficulty maintaining relationships, not able to describe feelings, ignores their body, feels empty inside, and constantly distracts themselves. So what do we have to do? We have to develop an inner ally. An inner ally is like a friend who who's like a friend on the inside, having a kind, supportive relationship with ourselves. We can determine our core emotional superpowers and track unhelpful critical thoughts, create a customized, compassionate inner language to support ourselves, and transform our life to the desired way that we want it. Because how we speak to ourselves with our inner voice is the bedrock of our relationship with ourselves. For example, the explorer. I'm able to set out on my own and be self-reliant. I can I help you develop a competent inner voice to support your independence. Anyway, then we have the outlaw, the citizen, the healer, the innocent, the lover, the king, the knight. We can develop these relationships. You could say I might develop a king, or a knight, or a lover, or innocent. So I might say, oh, I have to have a new inner voice, an inner ally who's the innocent lover, or the normal person, the regular person, the citizen. Next we have, there's a organization called Debtors Anonymous. I don't consider myself a member, but I did like a lot of their literature because I feel like there's a lot of things in life that people treat as money. So there's 12 promises that when you start to look at, so first of all, there's always a chance, like let's say somebody feels like they're in debt. In other words, somebody feels like they're indebted to others, or they feel like they're low, or they don't have credit, or they don't have value or resources. In other words, somebody who feels inferior, inadequate. So number one, if it's possible to believe that where a person once felt despair, they could experience a newfound hope. 2, clarity could replace confusion and chaos, and a person could live a more engaged life, making decisions that meet their needs, that best meet their needs, and become the people they were meant to be. A person could live within their means, yet their means will not define them. 4, a person could begin to live a prosperous life, unencumbered by fear. 5, a person could realize they're enough. They will value themselves and their contribution. 6, isolation will give way to fellowship. A person could replace fear with faith. 7, a person could recognize that there's enough, that resources will be generous and they'll share them with others and with the organizations that have helped them, like let's say if they are a member of Debtors Anonymous. 8, a person could cease to compare their self with others, and then jealousy and envy will fade. 9, a person could find that acceptance and gratitude could replace their regret, their self-pity, and their longing. 10, a person could no longer fear the truth. They'll move from hiding in denial to living in reality. 11, honesty could guide a person's actions toward a rich life filled with meaning and purpose. 12, a person could recognize a power greater than their self as the source of abundance and realize that God is doing for us what we couldn't do for ourselves. All this is possible and more when we reprogram ourselves with integrity and do the best of our ability one day at a time. A life of prosperity and serenity will be ours. And our final teacher for today, I think, will be, actually we have 2 more. So one is Corey Muscara, which is life cheat codes I know at 34, I wish I knew at 24. Now I'm 34, so I didn't write this, but it's interesting. 1, when we feel fulfilled, we tend to radiate energy to others. When empty, we tend to pull energy from others. If I want to be selfless, I fill myself up first and let it pour over. 2, we will not find true friends by trying to be the person everyone likes. We'll find true friends by being the person we like and letting the right people gravitate to us. 3, we do not have to worry so much about finding our purpose. We just have to keep showing up to life sincerely, curiously, and presently, and a purposeful life will emerge from there. 4, do not let the pursuit of a better future distract you from developing the skill of being present. A better life does not mean much if you don't know how to be there for it. 5, if you want to truly unwind your tension, don't do anything. Simply watch every thought and emotion, sensation and urge arise and pass in your awareness. 6, the peace you're looking for is on the other side of the pain you don't want to feel. 7, the more comfortable you become in your own skin, the less you need to manufacture the world around you for comfort. 8, we need to heal, yes, but too much feelings, too soon, too fast, just re-trigger trauma. Feeling is healing only when it's safe to do so. And 9, you cannot forgive if you're stuck in anger, and you cannot move past anger if you don't feel sadness. The tenderness beneath the rage is where you heal. 10, when it comes to healing, you can't skip steps. You have to meet the layers of pain that is present. Feel what is asking to be felt and let it take you to the next layer. And be patient as you unwind back into yourself. 11, action without stillness is reactivity. Stillness without action is resignation. Action informed by stillness is purpose. And I feel like that's a gravity action, like present action, being conscious. 12. To assess if your behavior is needy or codependent, ask, is this action inspired by my love for this person? Or is it an effort to get love from this person? And then we have, last but not least, Alex Mamadiarov and Boundaries Are Beautiful on Instagram. So I want, joy for everyone who knows grief. This is what they write. I want joy for everyone who knows grief, softness for everyone who knows the sharp edges of life, clarity of a path forward for everyone who knows stuckness, belonging for everyone who knows isolation, wonder for everyone who knows disappointment, pleasure for everyone who knows shame, solitude for everyone who knows chaos, celebration for everyone who knows hypervigilance, and illumination for everyone who knows darkness, home for everyone who knows wandering. And we will stop there, and I wish everybody a good week and all the best. Bye.